Joe Cawley. Today we're here with the new Ferrari Purosangue. We're going to teach you a little bit about this new model that Ferrari has. We're just about 20 minutes away from the dealership. We're over at M1 Concours in Pontiac, Michigan. And today I'm going to give you a few quick basics about the car so you get to know it a little bit more. But what we really want to tell you about is the suspension technology on the car. And we're actually going to take it on the track here in a little bit and kind of demonstrate why it's so special. But to start, this is our latest four-seater model. It is the first ever four-door Ferrari, and the rear doors are actually rear hinge, so it opens outward. Makes it very easy to access the back seat. But some of the quick basics, so it's a 6.5 liter V12 engine putting out 725 horsepower. Naturally aspirated, it's got a beautiful sound to it. So the power is great, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. It's putting the power down to the ground through a four-wheel drive system. Now, it's not a traditional system like you think of with a transfer case, but in fact it's set up as a transaxle powering just the rear wheels. And then there is a PTU that bolts to the front of the engine, a power transfer unit, that will individually vector the power to each front wheel as it needs. So you get the good, at lower speeds, four-wheel drive action, but at higher speeds it kind of disengages and just does a rear-wheel drive. In addition to that, it's got a four-wheel steering system, which is really going to help it corner here around the racetrack today. But again, the most important thing that I really wanted to talk about is the suspension. So it is abbreviated as FAST, Ferrari Active Suspension Technology. And essentially what it is you got the four hydraulic shocks that each have a 48-volt electric motor on the suspension system. And what that'll do is it'll push or pull the suspension to help the body roll. So for example, as you're going around a corner, when the car wants to lean, it'll push up on the outside suspension and it'll pull down on the inside suspension. So it'll help keep the platform very stable. It'll actually adjust through the stiffness throughout the corner as well. So when you're going in for corner entry or corner exit, it's going to be adjusting. And again, it's always helping to control the body roll. And then if you're on the roads, it'll help the vertical dampening as well. Manages it all through real time. And again, the end result is just a really well balanced chassis that, even though this might be one of our bigger models of the lineup, it's going to feel and respond on the track through the corners like some of our smaller models that are more track focused than this one per se. So it's really an amazing technology. It was developed in the motorsports world, and this is the first ever application of it on a street vehicle. So with that, I'd like to hop in the car, take you around the track, and really demonstrate again how well it can perform. Okay, so here we are out on the M1 Concours track. We're going to be going around the 1.5-mile circuit. And again, we want to kind of demonstrate for you all that the Purosangue here is capable of. Right now, going down the back straight, we're experiencing the 6.5 liter V12, as I mentioned, putting out the 725 horsepower. Going into a very tight, slow corner, so we got to use our carbon ceramic brakes. But again, as we go through all these corners, it's really about feeling how the load of the vehicle changes from weight transfer with that 48-volt electric suspension. So here as we go through the corner, it's pushing up on the outside, pulling down on the inside, and really helping keeping that stable, planted feel for the chassis. Going into another brake zone here. Down to second gear, accelerating out of the corner. A little braking, coming in close for an apex. A little brake zone as we're still going into a decreasing radius corner. The whole time the suspension feels very nice and planted. Into a brake zone here, down to third gear, very late apex corner, back on the throttle for the straightaway. to 5th gear, getting ready for our brake zone, down to 4, 3, actually a 2nd gear corner, again very slow. So we get up all set up for our acceleration out of the corner. Another brake zone, down to 3rd gear. Again, we're really feeling that suspension, just keeping the chassis roll to a minimum.